Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here, back with some more Hearthstone action, and I'm really excited to play in the arena again. So, the patch has been put through, the maintenance is complete, priests have been buffed to hell and back, and look at this. For our first arena, we get to try priest. So before the patch, I had an arena with priest where I got 0 wins. That was the only time I've ever gotten 0 wins. But now that priests have been buffed so much, I'm really excited to give them a shot. Hopefully we'll see some of the new cards. So if you haven't read the patch notes, you can see them firsthand here. But if you haven't read the patch notes, I do encourage you to go check them out because Blizzard did a pretty nice job outlining everything that's been changed. Anyway, let's get on with it.
Now, pick a card to add to your deck.
Alright, starting off with a rare, I do like the Emperor Cobra. It just kind of deals with anything on land, as it were, so it's a nice card to start off with. These are sort of marginal cards, in my opinion.
Keep it up.
So after the wipe, it's as if you're a new player playing for the first time, so we'll be seeing some of these awesome messages. This is actually a really bad pack. These are all kind of bad cards. I guess the Wind Fury Harpy is not as bad as the Core Hound, because it just costs 1 less mana. Silence is an interesting card. I don't really want to have a card in my deck that all it does is silence a minion, because it'll still leave the body of the minion on the ground, so there's inherent card disadvantage with this thing. I guess I'm really not happy to take the Wind Fairy Harpy, but we'll go for it. Alright, well, it's hard to pass on a Holy Nova. Removal is good, and global removal is even better. Okay, here's one of the updated cards. Northshire Cleric used to cost 2 mana, now it just straight up costs 1. And I think it actually is pretty nice now. You can drop it on turn 1, that might discourage some of your opponent's early plays. A 1/3 for 1 is pretty durable, actually. You can run it against some stuff and it'll survive, and then if you heal it, it's card drop. So we're going to go ahead and grab this thing. Lightspawn is another card that changed. Now its health is 5. It got buffed from 4 to 5. So this is a 5/5 for 4 mana, which is like really good. Now the disadvantage, of course, is that it gets weaker and weaker the more that it gets hit. But I'm going to play with this card and give it a shot, because if you get one of the cards that buff health, the Lightspawn can just go totally insane. And a 5/5 for 4 to start with is pretty great. Alright, this is another new card. So basically what happened was that priests got 2 of their garbage cards, Fade and Greater Heal, exchanged for really good removal cards. So here's one of them. Destroy a minion with an attack of 5 or more. That's pretty spectacular. We're going to go ahead and pick it up. Alright, we have another mediocre pack here. These are both pretty bad 6-drops. So we're going to go ahead and grab this 2-drop. He's not great either, but he's taunts, and that can sometimes be handy in slowing your opponent down. Alright, we got, looks like an epic card. So we got Murloc Pirate. Ugh, okay, well, I guess we're going for the Mountain Giant. I really can't see myself stomaching either of these cards. Pretty lame to get this as our epic. Okay, we can go for some spell power here to make our Holy Novas stronger. But I think the Razor of Hunter is a really solid 3-drop, so we're going to pick it up here. Okay, so we got a big old Taunter or spell power and card draw. Let's go ahead and grab the Azure Drake here. I think it's a little bit better than the Sunwalker. Notice spell power has been replaced with spell damage, so now it's a little bit more clearer what spell damage does. Alright, more circle, a 1/1 Chumpsicle. We'll grab this guy. He's not super great, but he's better than these mediocre cards. Draft isn't being super kind to us so far. Here we go. Raging Worgen, very good 3-drop. I'm getting a little bit high on these 3-drops, but I think it's better. Although the Voodoo Doctor is sort of a combo with the Northshire Cleric if you can heal one of your minions with it. But the Raging Worgen is just too good. We're going to pick it up. Alright, Mind Control is a solid card. I'm happy to have one of these in my deck, and this is a mediocre pack. The Worgen Infiltrator is a 1-drop I will play, but I don't like to have too many of these expensive removal spells, especially if your opponent is overrunning you. 1 Mind Control is not going to do the job, but 1 is great, and picking it over kind of mediocre cards is sort of the ideal situation. Alright, garbage, garbage, and card draw. Let's grab it. Finally some good cards here. So these are, oh man, why couldn't these have been spread out a little bit more? These are all great cards. This puts a lot of power on the table. This silences, and it's nice to have at least some silence in your deck, and this is a buff. Well, I clearly can't say that I'm playing an aggressive deck here, so we're going to go ahead and grab the kind of quasi-removal in the form of this silence here. Alright, we can double a minion's health. That's a good combo with the Lightspawn, but not as good as Holy Nova. Alright, Inner Fire, it's a cute combo card. I'm not interested in it, especially because Sen'jin Shield Master is so good, so we're definitely getting up to a bit of a later game deck. Holy Smite is fine. It kills Pine-Sized Summoners, and Now that Defias Ringleader has been nerfed, it now only has 2 health, so it's nice to have this 1 mana card that can kill some key creatures in the early game. Still don't really want to take this combo card. Priests don't have weapons, so we're going to take some more card draw. Yeah, very, very control-y deck we're building up for here. Now, the Twilight Drake has seen a major change. So now it's a 4-1, and it only gains health for the cards in your hand. So it's actually not nearly as good as it used to be. I mean, think of it this way. If you have 4 other cards in your hand, it's just as good as a Yeti, except it can be silenced. So it's worse. So you need to have at least 5 cards in your hand, and then it's only a 4-6. So basically, it's not as vulnerable to silence as it used to be, but it's no longer the powerhouse that it used to be either. Let's take a quick look at our spells here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells. So this guy could be okay. Let's take the Defender of Argus here. It's going to be a little bit tricky because my curve is sort of high. There are going to be times where I can't get full use out of him, but if I can work up to it and get some creatures just tick and drop him down, he can make a huge difference in the game. Alright, well, one other change here is the Flesh-Eating Ghoul is now a common. The Questing Adventurer has become a rare. Cult Master can be good, but my curve is actually kind of high, so I'm not necessarily going to be able to get that much use out of this. Let's go ahead and grab some more straightforward removal for dealing with early plays. Alrighty, so an Ooze is nice to have 1 of in your deck. I love the Frost Elemental very, very much, but we could go for a few more 2-drops just to have something to do in the early game, and then if it occasionally kills a weapon, that'll be even better. The Dalaran Mage has been nerfed, and now only has 1 power. I honestly have no idea why this nerf was made. It was exactly in line with the other spell power creatures, namely that its stats are 1 less what a vanilla creature of that level would be. So I have no idea why the Dalaran Mage got its power reduced. It's a pretty bad card that I'm pretty much never going to take now. This guy's solid, but the Temple Enforcer is a card I really like, especially now that I have a light spawn in my deck. So light spawn with this buff becomes an 8/8, temporarily anyway. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and pick up the Temple Enforcer. Alright, removal is good. These cards are okay, but not as good as removal. Alright, so we go for a 3rd Holy Nova. Oh my god. There might be such a thing as having too many Holy Novas. I mean, it really only deals with creatures that have 2 power or 2 toughness or less. I mean, a lot of stuff your opponent has is going to be more strong than that. And I don't have any spell power in this deck at the moment, so it's not ever going to go up to 3. I think we'll grab the Dark Iron Dwarf. This is a very solid card. Good body. And we have enough Holy Novas. Here's another change to the Priest. So Power Word Shield used to be 1 mana, give a minion plus 3 health. Now it's give a minion plus 2 health, but you draw a card, which makes the card vastly better. The problem with the old Power Word Shield was, if you played it on a creature and that creature got killed, you just lost 2 cards for nothing. But now this replaces itself, so you can buff away without fear. This makes it a really, really good card in Arena, and I'm very happy to pick it. Okay, so now we have a chance to pick up a Direwolf Alpha. Ogre Magi, also a possibility. It does work very nicely with the Holy Novas. So it's definitely a strong consideration. I think it's nice to have this Direwolf Alpha, though. I like having more combat tricks, and it's nice for the deck to have some aggression. Alright, well, we have a choice between Holy Smite number 3 or another Power Word Shield. Voodoo Doctor is also not bad, but I think it's not as good as these cards. Oh boy. Again, I think the problem I'm running into is I have just too much stuff that deals 2 damage. I've already got 2 Holy Novas and 2 Holy Smites. So let's go ahead and grab the Power Word Shield here and make our creatures a little bit sturdier. Alright, Divine Spirit's a nifty card and all. I don't have any Gurubashi Berserkers, Mogushan Wardens, or Oasis Snapjaws to make this really stand out. So let's go ahead and pick up Silence number 2. And we end with a rare. We have Garbage, and a pretty good card. Let's go ahead and pick it up. And let's try this out. So really with this arena, all we need... By the way, check out the new music. It's pretty jammin', isn't it? Like with this old-timey elevator music that while the arena waits to pit you against someone. So yeah, all we need is 1 win, and we'll be better than my past performance as Priest. Needless to say, I did not put up a recording of that performance, as watching me suck is not something that you need to watch. Up against a Warlock. Warlocks didn't change too much, honestly, in the patch, so they're about the same as they used to be. I'm actually going to keep Holy Nova. I wouldn't keep it against most classes, but against a Warlock I will, because they have that stupid, annoying Blood Imp, which always Warlocks play against me on turn 1 every time, and these are solid 3 and 4 drops, so we're going to go ahead and keep that. Yeah, the Holy Nova, against pretty much no other class, I think, would I keep it in a turn 1 hand. It's just because I want Blood Imps to die. Alright, so passing the first turn. Let's see that Blood Imp. Oh my gosh! Well, I stand correct. This is a very timely draw. Priests, of course, are famous for the fact that if you don't have a 2-drop, your hero power doesn't let you do anything. They are the only class whose hero power has that characteristic. But I drew this guy, I drew a card that's very good. I have some good plays coming up here. No real removal to speak of, unfortunately, except for the Emperor Cobra. But that should be okay. Alright, so he traded things off. Very good. I've got both my silences, which is honestly a little bit awkward. There might not necessarily be anything to silence. Here's another change to the game, by the way. The kill on contact minions have a little poison symbol, which indicates that they are dangerous.
For the crusade!
Alright, well this is actually a pretty good answer to my Cobra. It's a very, very good answer to my Cobra because the Divine Shield will pop against it and kill my Cobra, and this thing hasn't taken damage, so it won't even have the decency to die. So we have a couple of answers, though, at our disposal. One is to play Light Spawn. It's a 5/5, and maybe he'll think that's scarier than the Cobra. Probably not. Another option is to play the Spellbreaker, pop the Divine Shield, and allow the Cobra to trade. A little bit of a frivolous use of the Spellbreaker, to be honest, but, you know, I've got another one in my back pocket. Third option is to play the Frostwolf Grunt and distract the Scarlet Crusader that way. Don't really like this option because it leaves me with 2 mana that I have nothing to do with. So what we're going to do is the following. Play the Spellbreaker.
Magic shall not save you.
I'm pretty sure he's going to trade the Scarlet Crusader against my Cobra, so there's no reason to attack it. Remember, when you're pretty sure that your opponent's going to make a particular trade, don't make the trade for him. This was a very, very good answer to Emperor Cobra, and you know, that's what happens. Sometimes you play really good cards and your opponent has really good answers. Alright, he apparently has a different thing in mind for this Cobra, as he chose to kill off my bigger creature. Interesting. I'm not really sure I like that play. The Cobra is a very annoying creature for your opponent to have on the ground, because it'll kill anything. Now I can play Holy Nova and kill this tiger. I don't think that's a good play. I can play the Dark Iron Dwarf, pump this up, but that's kind of wasting of a trick. This actually seems pretty good because it trades against the tiger really nicely. Oh yeah, I think that's better than doing anything else. Let's play it. Let's play the Worgen, and let's with the Cobra. So I'm keeping my Cobra protected, and I'm keeping it on the ground, which is pretty solid. Alright, my opponent has a fistful of cards. He hasn't played very much, though, just the Crusader and the Panther, so that's to be expected. And he hasn't played his coin yet, either, so one of those cards is the coin.
Give me a quest.
Questing Adventure. Ah, he did pick up the rare Questing Adventure. Let's see what he can do. Demon Fire. Alright. Pump it up. And he's going to trade the Panther for my Worgen, also a smart play. Alright, well, we got some options here. So, one option, of course, is to silence the Adventurer, make him down to a 2/2, kill him off with my Cobra, then heal him with my healing power. Woo! Yay, priests! Another option is to play the Light Spawn, which is a 5/5, and that'll stand up against this Questing Adventurer for a while. Just ignore the Questing Adventurer and attack. What could Warlocks have that I might want to silence later? Because I might regret it, you know, I might regret spending this silence right here on this dude, and then have like a Sunwalker or something come down next turn. What I'd really like to do is buff this guy's health. That's not really an option. Let's take a look if we have any other options. This guy isn't very good right now. That's no good. Oh boy. I could, of course, just trade, but then I have nothing good to play. Well, I could trade... Play the Light Spawn. That's pretty huge. When my hero ability does nothing, unfortunately.
I wonder.
My instinct is to do this.
Your magic shall not.
The reason being, he uses up all my mana. And if he does have something that I want to silence, well, I could just kill it with the Cobra instead. So, that is why I chose to keep my Cobra around. Oh, the Light Spawn is a priest-specific card. Interesting. I did not know that. Yeah, that's a priest card.
So many possibilities.
Alright, he's got 6 cards in his hand. I've got 6 cards on the screen. I've got two of mine are on the board, but it's him to play, so anyone's game at the moment. This Holy Nova is becoming less and less good as the game goes on, but the healing effect is not to be underestimated. If you hit something weak and your creatures live, then the Holy Nova to heal them is pretty important. Ah, Summoning Portal. And now he's going to use his coin. He can play up to a 5 mana costing creature here. And a Silverhand Knight's a pretty darn good card here. Okay, well, I got some options. The Cobra does kill the Summoning Portal, and that does it without taking damage. Then the Spellbreaker can kill the Silverhand Knight. Then I can actually play this Northshire Cleric and heal my guy up. Or heal my... Oh, I won't have taken any... I won't have anything to heal. Well, this portal definitely needs to die. You can't let your opponent keep that around. So I could hit it with my Spellbreaker, hit this guy with my Cobra, play this down, heal it, play a Taunt, which will just die against that. Yuck, that doesn't look very good at all. There's just nothing that quite seems to work here. Alright, let me hold off on the combo healing business and just make sure we take care of the important stuff. So that dies. This dies. That seems okay. Let's drop the light spawn and then let's protect it. Taunter. This Taunter is very good against the 2/2 on the board. Okay, I think I've had a pretty good way of handling that situation. He could, of course, mess it all up with removal or whatever, but this is a pretty good shape for me to be in. He now has 5 cards on the screen to my 6.
We must cleanse.
That's a pretty good answer. Alright, so he gets to kill my guy. Look at that, Shattered Sun Cleric. My opponent is drawing cards after playing. You should always draw before you do things. And he didn't have anything to do with 2 mana, so he's passing the turn. Okay. Well, this Cobra dies actually to both of the creatures on the board right now, which is a little bit of a shame. However, I can kill one like this, and then play this, peel it up, and then Holy Smite the other one. That seems like a pretty good use of my time. Do I have enough mana? Therefore, yep. I have enough mana. Alright, let's do it. Boink. Sure, Cleric. Heal. Ooh, that's really good too. That is quite timely. Let's kill this thing. Drop more creatures. Don't forget to attack with your Cobra. Pass the turn. Alright, let's take a look at the state of affairs here. 7 cards on the screen to my opponent's 5. He does have the play. Hellfire would actually just about kill me here. Didn't really play around that too much. He's going to perhaps look for that Hellfire. Dip deeper in his deck. I should have played around Hellfire. I would have played this. That would have wasted the buff Surprise, but it would have not died to Hellfire the way that the Razorfin Hunter and the Boar do. Alright, looks like he doesn't have the Hellfire. He kills my Lightwell, so look at that Lightwell drawing a Siphon Soul. I mean, how good is that? If you play something huge, I've got an answer. This Holy Nova, still not very good here. And I still don't have anything to heal. None of my stuff is damaged. No! Alright, well, it's time to turn up the aggression here. So what do I want to buff? The Cobra obviously doesn't need the buff at all. Let's go ahead and buff this thing. I'm just trying to deal as much damage as I can because my healing power has been wasted. And these answer cards, my opponent didn't give me anything to answer. So I'm falling behind in tempo a little bit with that turn. Oh, this is awkward. I can't actually kill it. Oh, that's a pretty good thing he just did. Alright, so it's 4 cards to my 3 now. Oh, is this too late? Well, I have to play it. Oh, this last turn would have been so good. Still, it's a 6/6, which, you know, is pretty good. Oh my god, I'm falling behind now. That Shadow Flame was pretty darn good. This still does not... Ah, there we go, there we go. That'll die to my new card. Woo! Mountain Giant. Oh, hang on, I have to play this. Yeah, I have to play this, unfortunately, before I can do anything else. Let's just attack him. Yeah, if I waited to play this, I